Hey guys, Russ here. Let's talk about the financial steps you should take in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. And don't forget to subscribe to join me on my financial journey. Okay, so financial steps to take in your 20s. Invest in yourself. As you begin your career and find your place in the workforce, take advantage of personal growth opportunities, professional development courses, and skills training. This will not only benefit your career, but enhance your professional value. Whether you attend college or learn a trade and establish a business, taking steps to prepare yourself for a career can help increase your earning potential for decades to come. You will also want to establish responsible credit. While you don't want to go into debt, obtaining a credit card and paying it off every month can help establish good credit. And you'll need good credit in the next decades of your life to make big purchases. So it's smart to start establishing responsible credit early. You also want to avoid consumer debt. According to Northwest Mutual, millennials have an average of $27,900 in debt. Generation Z has an average of $14,700 in debt. Millennials cite credit card payments as their leading cause of debt, while Generation Z's debt is largely attributed to student loans. You might need a credit card to establish good credit, but only purchase what you need and you can afford to pay off every single month. This is also a great time to create a budget for all your spending. In your 20s, you're going to want to start an emergency fund. Should you get injured or run into unexpected medical bills or be out of work for several months, it's recommended to have between 3 and 6 months for an emergency fund. In your 20s, believe it or not, you're going to want to start saving for retirement. Even if you can only put a little away, the earlier you start saving, the faster you'll grow and the more money you'll have in retirement. Again, these are just guidelines, so if you haven't begun some of these steps, you can begin now. Let's move on to financial steps you should take in your 30s. In your 30s, you're starting to see some financial stability and can begin to approach your finances with a different perspective than in your 20s. For some, this is a time to build upon the foundations you set in your 20s, while for others, this decade is a time to begin building finances and growing wealth. In your 30s, you're going to want to start eliminating debt. Sit down and budget how you're going to eliminate your debt. Best to start with whichever debt has the highest interest rate. In your 30s, you're going to want to increase your savings rate. With a more steady and increased pay comes the opportunity to increase your savings. Personally, I recommend opening a Roth IRA. The earlier, the better. And I have many videos on this, but essentially when you turn 59 and a half, you can take the money out tax-free, which is amazing. All you really need to do in a Roth IRA is invest in low-cost index funds that track the S&P 500 or the overall U.S. stock market, which has historically gone up. Also, if your employer offers a 401k, especially with a matching contribution, you're going to want to invest in that as well. Essentially, that's free money. In your 30s, if you started a family, you're going to want to start saving for children. When it comes to college, there are special college savings plans such as 529 plans. In your 30s, you're going to want to examine housing costs. Granted, fewer millennials are purchasing homes than ever before as a result of high student debt and fewer loan options. While renting a house may be a good option at this time, owning a home and paying down its mortgage is great for the long term. When you're entering your 40s, you're going to want to think of long-term financial goals. The steps you've taken up until this point will help prepare you for your 50s, 60s, and beyond. Now, don't panic if you're in your 40s and you haven't started this. It's not too late to start life-changing changes. In your 40s, you should try to pay down your mortgage faster. At this point, your mortgage is most likely your highest debt. The easy way to pay down your mortgage faster is by making one extra payment per year toward your principal. Believe it or not, on a 30-year loan, this can help save you tens of thousands of dollars and shave off several years. In your 40s, you're going to want to strive to earn more. It's a great opportunity to grow your skills and salary. Consider pursuing certificates or skills that can help enhance your resume. It's also important to check in with your industry and make sure that you're getting paid what you deserve. In your 40s, you're going to want to ramp up your retirement savings. In your 40s, you're going to want to make sure you start discussing your finances with your parents and your children. It's important that you're preparing your children for financial stability as they grow. And you're going to want to make sure that your parents have a financial plan in place. If you teach them how to invest at a very early age and the importance of doing so, you'll really help them in life. For instance, I did a video on Stash, an app that makes it very simple for children and families to pick and choose stocks and learn about investing in different terms. So it's really fun, actually. You might even want to consider giving back to the community in your 40s. Some of them are tax deductions as well. In your 50s, it's a great time to contribute even more to your retirement funds and think about your financial goals. You're going to want to estimate your retirement income as well as set a retirement goal. Set a plan to reach your retirement goals. I recently checked on my Social Security earnings and what I would be making. Now, they say that if you retire early at age 62, I would be making X amount. 67 was another one. So you're going to want to make sure that you plan accordingly in how long you're going to have to work and how much you'll be getting. Now, by the time I retire, they may move the ages a little bit up more, but it's good to see and check periodically how much you're going to be making and see if that aligns with your retirement goals. You could also make catch-up contributions. For instance, if you're doing a Roth IRA, you're only allowed $6,000 per year, but if you're age 50 and above, you can actually contribute $7,000 per year into it. And you're going to want to max that out each and every year. You might want to shift some of your portfolio into bonds, which are safer. Honestly though, that's the standard advice. Personally, I don't know if it's a good idea because inflation, especially this year, is at 7.5%, and bonds typically will give you now 2 to 3, 4%, which you're actually losing money. So yes, it's safer and it won't go down as much, but you also want to consider inflation and such factors. In your 50s, you're also going to reevaluate and make sure that you have correct insurance, such as life insurance and things of that nature. You're going to want to reevaluate or create an estate plan. Now, I personally think that this should be done earlier, especially if you have children and a wife or husband, and want to make sure that everything is set before you pass away. From personal experience, I know that going through probate court is a pain in the butt. So you really want to have a will and things set in place and everything planned out so your children or whoever don't have to go through all this stuff. Now, in your 50s, you're going to want to manage and adjust your distributions because at some point you're going to want to pull from your retirement fund. So you need to make a plan for when you're going to withdraw, how to replace your income, and when to withdraw from Social Security. The later you claim your Social Security, the more money you'll get each month. Ensure you have a long-term care plan in place. Long-term care refers to the point in your life where you can no longer take care of yourself. The options for care consist of in-home care, assisted living facilities, residential care, or family and friend. Now, they can get pretty expensive, so you want to plan for this. You can use your life insurance to pay for this, but you're going to want to set that up in earlier decades. When you're in your 60s, you should establish a legacy plan and possibly revise your will depending on what's going on. As your family and lifestyle changes, continue to adjust your will so all of your assets are properly passed on. Now, having good financial goals for every decade can feel a little bit overwhelming. The good news is that it's never too late to start, but you should try to start as early as you can. At the beginning of each decade, do a financial audit. Do a financial audit to make sure that you're on track and taking the necessary steps to make sure your finances are healthy. Your future self will thank you. Please subscribe for more videos and to help me grow my channel, and join me on my financial journey.